Today's story is chapter 57. Suffering, suffering insults and persecution. A necessary sacrifice. As dusk came on, a lantern-lit stagecoach made its way along a country road in the Old West. Inside, the seats were nearly full, the atmosphere harmonious. As the stagecoach approached the steep and thickly overgrown section of mountain road, uneasy whispers arose among the passengers. "This area is full of gangs," said one. "Lots of stagecoaches are ambushed," said another. "I wonder if we are safe." "This is just a sort of lonely area where it might happen," said someone else. A young man turned trembling to the dignified gentleman sitting next to him. "Is it true? I'm carrying $3,000 that I earned with my sweat and blood. It means my very life. What'll I do?" The gentleman nodded and said, "I have an idea. Hide it in your boot. They'll never look there." The young man quickly followed this advice, and not a moment too soon. Just then the stagecoach came under attack. A gang of robbers stormed aboard and began methodically stripping passengers of their valuables. All at once the gentleman cried out, "This fellow is carrying a fortune in his boot!" Overjoyed at these unexpected rich spoils, the brigand took off, not bothering with anyone else. The stagecoach continued on its way, none the worse for the attack. But now all the passengers joined in heaping abuse on the betrayer. The young man accused him wildly of being in league with the robbers. The atmosphere turned ugly. Through it all, the gentleman merely repeated calmly, "I'm sorry, truly sorry. Just bear with me a little longer." When the stagecoach pulled into town, the young man's patience wore out, and he started to collar the gentleman. "I'm sorry," repeated the older man. "The truth is, I myself am carrying $100,000. Your 3,000 was a great deal of money, but letting it go saved my 100,000. Please accept $10,000 as a token of my gratitude. I hope you will forgive me." On learning the truth, the young man was thoroughly chastened. He offered sincere apology and thanks to his benefactor. It is well to realize that sometimes in life it is necessary to disappoint others for a time and suffer insults and persecution in order to accomplish a greater purpose. Today's story is kind of mind-boggling. It gives us food for thought. The incident itself might sound not so rare. It might have happened very often in the past, maybe sometimes in even modern days, because this older man had deeper wisdom than others. So even though, yeah, it was, I think it was impossible for the man to explain his scheme or plan in advance. There was no time, physically no time to explain that because the robbers attacked in no time. Maybe he could have explained it in advance, but the gang attacked the stagecoach before that. And even if there had been enough time, maybe the young man wouldn't have agreed with that kind of idea. It might have sounded too risky. So, and there must have been disagreement, a lot of disagreement. But in that case, yeah, the older man couldn't have saved his $100,000. So all the money might have been robbed off. I have to say it was such a deep wisdom for the older man to come up with such a great idea to save his money in such a short moment. Yeah, he responded very quickly, immediately upon hearing young man's worry. Maybe he was ready, or he must have had enough experience in the past, or he was thinking about the worst case scenario all the time. That wisdom is so extraordinary, and no one else could have understood that kind of deep scheme or plan. So we usually don't have such deep wisdom, but sometimes we have very important task or great purpose we have to achieve, and no other people understand our important purpose. Our purpose might benefit all these people around us. So it is all the more important for us to achieve this purpose, but to 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 get consensus or agreement from everybody or people is not always easy. So even though it will eventually benefit all these people, it might be difficult for us to get consentment, agreement from these people. So as a result, we have to suffer insults or persecution or harsh language or criticism and slander. Because in this area, we might have more wisdom, or we are thinking much ahead in the future than other people. Especially it apply. I think it applies to our spiritual journey, the purpose of life. Our purpose of life is to mutual happiness, because we want to share true happiness with others, especially our loved ones and family members, friends and co-workers. That's why we are seeking for true happiness. That the purpose is not keeping true happiness to ourselves. That the ultimate purpose is to share it and guide other people to true happiness. But in the process, we will be confronted with a lot of opposition and conflicts and such criticism, because people don't understand such spirituality. But then we have to remind ourselves, it's good to remind ourselves this story, and then we can imagine how happy they will be once they understand that we will be the benefactor, and they will enjoy the benefit as the result of our accomplishment of true purpose of life, absolute happiness. and mutual happiness. Okay, yeah, we have such an important, great purpose in life. So that's, I think, we can learn from today's story. Good job, everyone.